Don't need reminding that this has not been a happy hunting ground of late. In fact, they've lost their last 5 straight visits to Chelsea. Their last win coming back in the 2011-2012 season. Van Persie with that hat-trick in the 5-3 win. Craig, Arsenal have not been very good. Yes, they got the win yesterday in the Europa League. They've beaten Bournemouth, but looking into this match, it's very difficult to give them much hope, isn't it?
Well, Bournemouth fell in the lap, didn't they? And they took full advantage in the end. But last year's FA Cup final apart, where Arsenal did play well, there's been no signs early in this season that they're going to be able to cope with Chelsea in key areas. The midfield. How are they going to cope with Chelsea's midfield, with that dynamic midfield? How are they going to cope with the wide players and the pace? How are you going to cope with the guile and the movement if whoever plays in behind Alvaro Morata? And then there's a back three. If he does go with a back three, Arsene Wenger, I don't think there's any Arsenal fan can say, oh, I'm really comfortable with those 3 players. This looks like a rock-solid defence. I just don't see how they cope with Chelsea's big players at the weekend.
Robbo, I suppose the big selection question going into this for Arsene Wenger is what do you do with Alexis Sanchez? Of course, played on Thursday in the Europa League against Cologne, scored that great goal as well. But will he start on Sunday as well?
I don't think he will. I think from the comments Arsene Wenger made after the game and before the game that he was saying that Alexis Sanchez hasn't fully recovered. I'm not sure where he's meant to recover from, but he's not fully fit. That's why it was more surprising why he played against Liverpool, when that was 3 weeks ago, when he certainly wasn't fit and he wanted to move away from Arsenal. So I don't think he'll play. He might be a substitute, might come on for the last 20 minutes and try and change the game if some money, and then didn't play him against Liverpool. Sanchez, who we're talking about now, wasn't fully fit, and he played him in that game against Liverpool and had to take him off because he wasn't playing particularly well. You know, he's their best player. Whether he's wanted to get away to Manchester City or wherever he wanted to go to, Alexis Sanchez is Arsenal's best player and has been for the last couple of years. And if he's fit, he has to play because he's the player that can change the game for them.
It must make a difference as well, Shaka, for your teammates as well. If you've got Alexis Sanchez on the pitch, it surely lifts you and the fans as well.
Even so, even as good as, well, relatively as Lacazette has been compared to everybody else, for me, Alexis Sanchez is still the best player on that roster and played 90 minutes against a very poor Cologne team, scored in the end, and you saw his quality. But didn't really offer a whole lot more else. I mean, in all honesty, Arsene Wenger made 9 changes. It's just hard to try to figure out what Arsene Wenger is thinking, what he's doing, how he's going to approach his game, because so far, nothing seems to make sense and not a lot has worked.
It's not even up for debate who Arsenal's best player is.
Yeah.
Right? Lacazette coming in might be somewhere down the line if he bangs the goals in. Could take that mantle. The reports are that Ozil's more or less made his mind up he's going to leave, but let's be honest, in the bigger games, more often than not, he's been a waste of time. But what's the point staving off Manchester City or any other club? What is the point staving them off and saying, no, we're not selling because we don't think the money's right or we can't get another player in, and then not play the guy? What's the point? What is the point of him playing, say, 50% of the games this year, if that's what it is? You've got to get him fit, get him up to speed, and get him in the big games as soon as possible. And if that's not the case, they should have taken the 70 million from Man City and moved on.
Robbo, you mentioned the fact, obviously, Lacazette didn't play or didn't start in that match against Liverpool. Surely, there's no way that he's not going to be in that starting 11 against Chelsea.
No, I think he's probably going to go with the same team that played against Bournemouth in terms of the front players. Ozil will play on the right-hand side, Lacazette will play through the middle, and Danny Welbeck, who scored a couple of goals in that game, will probably play on the left-hand side. And then it would play with 2 wing-backs. The one position I would change is Kolasinac. I would play as centre-half, the left-sided centre-half, and I'd get Monreal out of the back 3 and put him as the left wing-back. But I'm not sure Wenger will do that.
Yeah, I can't quite see this Monreal left-sided wing-back. Left-sided centre-back working. In fact, the back 3 in general, I mean, Koscielny's not a bad footballer, right? He's an experienced international player. But trying to hold the 2 centre-halves next to him that are playing beside him, if that's the case, with Holding as it was, and Monreal, is a difficult task because you end up getting dragged out of position yourself. But I'm with Robbo here. I don't see Monreal staying in that position for long because I think it's unnatural for him, and I think you can play down the little channels in the holes that he...
OK, right. Robbo, will Arsenal lose by 3 or 4 goals this weekend? Oh, brilliant. Well, we can't hear Robbo, but that's
Robbo,
right.
stop.
Robbo's just having to go Wenger.
All right.
That's 3 or 4 goals.
Hey, somebody's there.
Arsene Wenger had him muted.
Do you think so?
Yeah, he's not allowed to. You can see his mouth moving, he said, but you're not allowed the voice to come over.
It's
I
censorship.
have to put an actor to put
Did you say muted or neutered?
I think both of those.
I'm just checking.
Back to you, Shaq.
I said muted.
Robbo, I think we're working now. Gav's gone. 3 or 4
I
goals
think
this
both
weekend.
of those, don't worry.
Yep. Oh, my crikey.
I don't think Arsenal will lose by 4 goals.
could
I
just
think they'll
imagine
play
Wenger
better
coming in
than
with
they
like a
have done
big-
in previous games.
big white
and
coat
I think
on.
Arsenal will
He's still
lose by a
going.
couple of goals.
There you go.
Wenger coming in with the big. It'd be worse. His worst nightmare, wouldn't it?
What?
Lying in the hospital bed like that. Wenger comes in to neuter him.
2 bricks.
2 bricks.
Gav, I'm not going to ask Gav. 3 or 4. All right, let's move on to the next one. Is it okay for Wayne Rooney to celebrate if he scores a goal against Manchester United this Sunday?
Yes. God.
I bet, but I don't
I
think
bet
he'll
he-
score.
yeah, he may
I
do.
don't think he'll score,
Yeah.
but I hope he does. I shouldn't say that. That's selfish in my fantasy team. Still, I forgot to change it.
Oh, yeah. That's
Schoolboy
Friday,
era.
Friday
Schoolboy.
night.
I think he should celebrate, even though he had numerous great years there. But if he scores, I don't think he will.
Would you celebrate against your old team? You're a bit romantic and sentimental.
Yeah,
aren't
I'm a
you?
bit romantic. I have celebrated against teams I've played for, so I can't say I would never. But I agree with you. I think if he does score, I don't think he will celebrate.
But should he?
Should do whatever he feels like doing.
He got rejected by them, didn't he?
Well, did he? I mean,
Yes.
Rejected.
rejected.
Of course he got rejected.
He was.
They didn't want him anymore. What's the other adjective? Or verb? Whatever grammar we're using.
These things happen to
He was
footballers.
past his sell-by date for that club.
So he's rejected?
No,
No.
He was no longer viable for where they wanted
His
to
cycle
go.
ended.
I'm painting this in a different picture for you.
That's the exploit and rejection.
Exactly.
See, if it was me and
I say I've been with a girl for 6 years and then she dumps me, she's rejected me. That's it. Done.
I think you should move on, Dan.
Damn you.
Yeah, there's clearly deeper issues at play here. Did you celebrate when she rejected you?
She did. And a new boyfriend. He was bigger than me.
Move on, Dan, move on.
everyone's
That's
bigger
not
than
saying
you.
much.
One of the 7 dwarfs is bigger than
Oh.
Craig's grandson is bigger than you.
It's Craig a granddad. He's the youngest granddad in the world.
That's fact. Until somebody lets him know
you. It
otherwise.
just makes you feel young.
What's it?
Yes.
Okay, final tweet. Why did Hercules block me?
I blocked too.
I don't know. Marco, apparently.
I don't know who Marco is.
He's a nice guy as well, Marco.
Is he?
You blocked him.
You blocking people?
Well, have him write me on Twitter. And
Well, he
tell
can't.
me
He
why-
blocked
Sorry.
Gab, I feel like we've avoided you, ignored you in this segment. How many people have you blocked, do you think, on Twitter?
Lots.
I block very, very few people, but it's interesting. I generally block people who don't follow me and who are famous, and that gives me a sense of power over them. Like, I
That
know
is sadistic.
it's wonderfully therapeutic. I've blocked Liam Gallagher. I blocked Martin Shkreli. I blocked Jeff Bezos. All these people I've blocked on Twitter.
That's brilliant.
Gab,
This pilot has some issues.
how
Let me just
about, how
say.
about Dan Thomas throwing you under the bus on Twitter? Do you have a problem
I
with
didn't
that?
throw him under the bus.
He threw the grenade and ran.
He bit it. He bit. That was it.
Well, it's funny. You realize, like, I responded to Dan Thomas and those, 2 other Muppets that he pulled in. I don't even know who they were. Some dude who works for MLS and some
that
other
guy.
tool. And everybody, and all these other people come in, and it takes on a life of its own. I should have known better.
There you are.
I really should have
You
known
fell
better.
into the Dan Thomas
Yeah,
trap.
that was
But,
it.
Do you know my only problem I had with that? I only caught a bit of that thread, but I was dying for you to be a little ruder.
Yeah.
I've been really rude to them.
What would you say?
No, let's not open that door. Robbo, why aren't you on Twitter?
I get too much abuse of all those Arsenal supporters.
Oh,
And I'm very sensitive. I can't take abuse. I can't be teased or made fun of. So I'm not on Twitter.
Careful, Gab will block you.
Gab's already empowered.
Most of the time, don't worry. That's just in the. That's just in the corridor.
Oh, I like it. Gab late at night, drunk on cheap Italian wine, blocking.
There's no way Bezos is going to text me.
I own you. I own you. That is it. We are done. ESPN FC returns on Sunday.
Huge clash on Sunday, Chelsea against Arsenal, and I'm asking, who is the better tactician, Mr. Wenger or Conte?
Are we talking now? Because it's Conte into possession, or you can play him as a 10. So he's got lots of personnel that he can rotate. So I would go for Conte.
So if you're talking about one word to describe the team or the manager, would you say predictable for Arsenal?
I would say so. I think that's a very good word. I think we all know how Arsene Wenger's going to play. He is predictable. It doesn't mix it up, which sometimes you need to. 9 times out of 10, he'll beat the teams in the Premier League, the teams down at the bottom and midway, which doesn't change it often enough against the big sides.
And so adaptable, perhaps, for Conte?
Good comparison. I think it's very adaptable in terms of his personnel. System, no, because he knows what system he wants because of his players. We found that out last year when he got smashed against Liverpool and Arsenal. He reverted to 3 and 2 wing backs. So yeah, adaptable.
Okay. Adaptable versus predictable on Sunday.
How you doing, Herc? How's the whole being a dad thing going?
Tiring.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah?
But you've warned me. So
Well,
you
yeah.
got 2.
Stop moaning.
No, it's beautiful. Listen,
Stop
you should.
moaning.
You've got how many? You have 8.
5.
There's things we could say here.
Yes.
Well, there's 8 between us.
Thanks.
There you go.
Thanks, Craig.
Craig's
Thank you.
stepping up to help.
I'm just,
How are you, Craig? Like with the whole baby story?
I'm okay.
No, because you're granddad, obviously. When you
correct.
when you go back, see your
I feel like you
grandson,
wanted
do
to
change diapers
throw
and
that
things?
out that he was a granddad.
Oh, it's just
Could be the youngest granddad on the planet, me.
yes, but that's not true.
I don't think that's factual.
You just make up that stat all the I could be the youngest granddad on the.
You say,
I don't think he said could be. I think it was he was stating fact.
well, unless somebody tells me otherwise. You like to throw that in.
He did. Yeah.
What do you mean?
You always like to throw that in,
I
don't
don't,
you?
I
He
don't
does,
know.
doesn't he? He does.
He does, you do.
Every opportunity he gets, he mentions that you're a
I
granddad.
can't,
I've noticed that too.
you know, I can't account for others, you know what I mean?
Just yourself.
Yeah, don't kill me.
Just yourself.
Anyway,
Do you do diapers and things?
well, not anymore. But did you?
Back then it was
My daughter's over there. So
I know your daughter's in
she's here
visiting
today.
today.
She's here on the couch. She's.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just-
Does she want to come on? I don't know if she wants to come on. Does she?
Do you want to come on? No.
No, she's pretending.
She's like, go away, Dad. You're embarrassed.
Exactly. Pretty much what she's been for 14 years. I imagine. She's not related to you.
Right, anyway.
Robbo and Gav are here as well.
Will be facing Pumas this weekend in the Liga MX. Hercules Gomez is joining me for this preview to tell us what to watch for. Herc, 2 different sides of the spectrum here because we have Chivas who get to play Pumas, America and Atlas in the Copa. So a pretty packed week for them. And then Pumas, you just said it, worst team in the league. They desperately need to save face. Can they do it on this visit, or is it written on the paper?
It's written. It's written. I will tell you why.
Thanks for coming.
They haven't. Yes, it's very much thanks for coming. They haven't shown anything where makes you believe Pumas has any life going forward. Paco Palencia is gone. You can no longer blame Paco Palencia. It's not his fault. The sporting director comes in. I don't even know if that's the title that he actually had, but he comes in and he becomes the interim coach. He helped design this team. This team was designed in a way that did not make sense. Defensively, in the midfield, in the attacking pieces they added, it does not make sense. Your best player, Nico Castillo, who's lighting up the league, who's literally the face of your franchise, who's the only player you can depend on, you have a dependency on him actually, is injured. Gets injured against Monterrey, does his hammy, he could be out for 4 to 5 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, you don't know. Now you're going to go play Chivas, who themselves pick up their first win in emphatic fashion versus Pachuca at Estadio Hidalgo in a great fashion. The dynamic, the fast, the 1v1 transition Chivas of old, defending champions are woken. They're awake.
Yeah.
You haven't won in Jalisco at Chivas in 35 years, Pumas. You're playing against history as well. I don't see how they can do it. This is the game. If you're a betting man, you bet on.
Well, as I said, Chivas, they do have a pretty packed week, and they do face America next week, and they do have that Copa game midweek. Any chance that Chivas can possibly go a little light on Pumas? Not saying that they're going to have any mercy, but any chance that Pumas can hope for that?
It's a great question, and I don't know. Mercy is not the term I would.
But
use.
may not the full team possibly?
Yes, and this is the topic of discussion where, well, now you have an important cup game. Do you
Yeah.
go in with a split squad? That's not Chivas' style. You know, Matias Almeida, if anything, the Pelado's shown is that he's not afraid to go with the same team that got him there throughout the whole tournament. Have them have their run, keep them going. And they keep winning that way in the cup. Chivas is known for the cup game. The Chivas B team or second team will play that game. He doesn't care. He has faith in them. And it's actually iron sharpens iron, because when that team's good, they train against the first team, and there's internal competition, and that breeds that competition. It breeds the intensity, the championship fire that they've had, and all good things come out of that. So I don't see that being a problem. What I do see being a problem is who they have on tap. They are right now in a very good moment. They are feeling very good about themselves because of what they did against Pachuca away from home. But now you're going to play next week. You're going to play America, and that's your biggest rival. And now it doesn't matter. Form doesn't matter. Form doesn't matter in these clásicos.
No.
And everything that can go wrong will go wrong if you don't do the right things.
All right, thanks so much, Herculez Gomez. So Pumas, sorry, but not much of a case for you there. It seems like the ball is definitely in Chivas' court. We'll be facing Pumas this weekend in the Liga MX. Herculez Gomez is joining me for this preview to tell us what to watch for. Herc, two different sides of the spectrum here, because we have Chivas who get to play Pumas, America and Atlas in the Copa, so a pretty packed week for them. And then Pumas, you just said it, worst team in the league. They desperately need to save face. Can they do it on this visit, or is it written on the paper?
It's written. It's written. I will tell you why.
Thanks for coming.
They haven't. It's very much thanks for coming. They haven't shown anything where makes you believe Pumas has any life going forward. Paco Palencia is gone. You can no longer blame Paco Palencia. It's not his fault. The sporting director comes in. I don't even know if that's the title that he actually had, but he comes in and he becomes the interim coach. He helped design this team. This team was designed in a way that did not make sense. Defensively, in the midfield, in the attacking pieces they added, it does not make sense. Your best player, Nico Castillo, who's lighting up the league, who's literally the face of your franchise, who's the only player you can depend on, you have a dependency on him actually, is injured. Gets injured against Monterrey, does his hammy, he could be out for 4 to 5 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, you don't know. Now you're going to go play Chivas, who themselves pick up their first win in emphatic fashion versus Pachuca at Estadio Hidalgo in a great fashion. The dynamic, the fast, the 1v1 transition Chivas of old, defending champions are woken. They're awake.
Yeah.
You haven't won in Jalisco at Chivas in 35 years, Pumas. You're playing against history as well. I don't see how they can do it. This is the game. If you're a betting man, you bet on.
Well, as I said, Chivas, they do have a pretty packed week, and they do face America next week, and they do have that Copa game midweek. Any chance that Chivas can possibly go a little light on Pumas? Not saying that they're going to have any mercy, but any chance that Pumas can hope for that?
It's a great question, and I don't know. Mercy is not the term I would.
But
use.
may not the full team possibly?
Yes, and this is the topic of discussion where, well, now you have an important cup game.
Yeah.
Win with the split squad. That's not Chivas' style. You know, Matias Almeida, if anything, Pelado's shown is that he's not afraid to go with the same team that got him there throughout the whole tournament. Have them have their run, keep them going, and they keep winning that way in the cup. Chivas is known for the cup game. The Chivas B team or second team will play that game. He doesn't care. He has faith in them, and it's actually iron sharpens iron, because when that team's good, they train against the first team, and there's internal competition, and that breeds that competition. It breeds the intensity, the championship fire that they've had, and all good things come out of that. So I don't see that being a problem. What I do see being a problem is who they have on tap. They are right now in a very good moment. They are feeling very good about themselves because what they did against Pachuca away from home. But now you're going to play next week and play America, and that's your biggest rival. And now it doesn't matter. Form doesn't matter. Form doesn't matter in these clásicos, and everything that can go wrong will go wrong if you don't do the right things.
All right, thanks so much, Herculez Gomez. So Pumas, sorry, but not much of a case for you there. It seems like the ball is definitely in Chivas'